What has once started within the physical space of rectangular lawn and social space of communities has developed into global medial industry of an incalculable value and political power. Game that is being played for pure joy of millions is also powering complex mechanisms for reaching goals far away from realm of the game. Progress in football is natural outcome of global socio-economic structures and continuity of colonial soft power. Europe prods from broadcasting the game, while the rest of the world pays for watching it or having the logo on screen at least for a second. Commodity has replaced importance of community and sometimes humanity. And that's when it starts to be a problem. Roots of football are intertwined with an evergreen surface of the island of Great Britain. The game, officially enacted as the entertainment of upper-class gentlemen, has very soon gained interest within working-class men. These were communities resettled from countryside to work in the new-built factories and towns. Cultural shock, 6 days working week, low wages, an extremely unhealthy environment. That anthropological constant, the need for shared communal experience, has brought these people together in relict empty spaces in between houses and factories to chase the ball once a week. Working class teams joined the FA Cup, the world's oldest football competition. The subspace of the game, rules of which were offering equality out of the grey reality, was the only platform to face and challenge the upper classes. Increasing mobility in industrial country caused that there were hundreds of working class teams emerging and turning noble founders of football into the unimportant minority. This led to the first conflict in football history. Working class teams needed to train, and for existential reasons, they had to be paid for time out of the factories. But professionalism was officially illegal, since in high society there was enough of time, resources, and no need to be paid for leisure game. Under the pressure of growing crowds, professional football was legalized as soon as the end of the 19th century. And it was a victorious moment of the working class as it took over the game for decades. The new architectural structure, a stadium, was reborn first time since antiquity. Football, as an open platform for every social class, meant enormous potential to grow economically and create an entire industry around itself. It is not just the ball and bodies of players that are, thanks to the technological advancements, moving faster every year. Media, telepresence, virtualization and globalization of the football industry are accelerating revenues of those on the top of the industry. Omnipresent medial technology breaks previous connection between community and local stadium, between the grass and the bodies. The second great revolution of football is the one of globally shared experience of medial images. Whoever offers the best commodity can sell their game to the planet via monitors and screens. And it is always Europe who who has the best product and who sucks all the resources and talent of world football. But it is not this simple to put it in a way when football might be called as a latter cultural colonialism. European football industry offers its migrants good money and mostly fair legislation. Hyper-object of world football is growing exponentially, and it has reached values that make it interesting far beyond the realms of the game, sport, and communities. There are new global superpowers emerging and wanting to succeed Europe in all terms. Medial TV spectacle is becoming battlefield of Cold War for geopower. And the governments of the confident, undemocratic countries are happy to self-colonize their land with football stadiums massively in order to gain the medial attention of billions. Biggest operation of this kind is getting ready in Qatar, the wealthiest country in the world and the next host of the FIFA World Cup. It begins with transplantation of pieces of British land to the desert. All the Gulf countries are getting ready for running out of gas and oil that have made them the richest region in the world. Qatar is getting ready to conquer the medial space in order to save its physical space in the Gulf. After launching the Al Jazeera in 1996 as a strategic move on the consolidating soft power in the region, Qatar needs to push its medial presence to another level. On June 5th, 2017, Saudi Arabia, along with Bahrain, Egypt, and the United Arab Emirates, severed all ties with Qatar. Saudi Arabia has announced plans to dig 60-kilometer-long canal, which would effectively turn Qatar into an island. Lawns and stadiums are supposed to save the dunes of Qatar by any cost, including the cost of the human life. Have you ever heard of migrant crisis? There are many migrant crises on the earth. In Qatar, 90% of the population are migrants already, but no one calls it a crisis. Mechanisms of control, power, and oppression turned unqualified part of this majority into a population of second class. People of the poorest countries of the world are working here in conditions not different from those of British working class 150 years ago. If we were to hold a minute of silence for every estimated death of a migrant worker due to the construction of the Qatar World Cup, the whole of the tournament would be played in silence. While back in the history, the working class has used the football as a tool to challenge the class society, Qatar still maintains and deepens inequality which Europe hasn't experienced for decades. No one will ever know the exact number of people who died in Qatari stadiums. Life in the Gulf has value only when it is not a migrant's life. Or maybe it is not just the Gulf, since none of the Western football authorities has ever risen the voice against this unprecedented oppression. At the same time, suspicions from briberies are changing into accusations as the investigation on how Qatar won its bid are progressing. The value of money is what matters the most in football industry. speak up for the most marginalized working class communities in football history. They are in labor camps of Qatari desert and need your flares and throats to burn for their justice and freedom. It is about fighting the dark future behind any acceptable frontiers. Future that has brought to the working class of the 21st century by turbo-capitalism of globalized world and so-called football industry that once used to be a game. Be seen. It is duty of those who are privileged to see football on the stadium.